Hey everyone, it's Keith from the future. I've already beaten this entire series, so I know how it ends now. And I had a fun idea, which is just to have a poll. Let's have a poll. Because you've all been along this adventure of this mystery scenario, so I thought I would data collect and allow you guys to tell me who you think the killer is in this game and why. So, I'm creating a Google form thing, whatever, I forget what to call these things, but on the Google Drive stuff, you're going to be able to vote on who you think the killer is using the account you're already logged into, because Google and YouTube is all the same company and same accounts and all that. So you follow the link in the description / on the screen, but description's better because you don't have to manually type it in. But yeah. Go to the link, click on who you think is the killer and whatnot, and vote. You have like a day or less, because this is a daily series, and tomorrow's episode's going to go up tomorrow with the results, I think. As a result, it'll probably be a little later in the day than normal. I've been uploading these at like 11 a.m. Pacific. It'll probably be a bit later than that because I want to see the results and put them together. I've already finished my playthrough, so it won't affect my results. Don't worry about that. This is not corrupting the Let's Play or anything. You're already going to get tomorrow's finale with all of the very long explanations and reasoning behind my decisions and whatnot. So it's not going to change that, but I think it'd be fun to see the results of what everyone else thought along the way, because you've all been a part of this journey too. If you have already played the game and know the spoilers and know the endings and stuff, please don't vote, because you're just corrupting the data at that point by just knowing the answer already. And please do not spoil things in the comments. I would like to encourage people who don't know how this thing ends to like debate it out in the comments if you want to, and like have discussions about this, because that's like discussing the evidence is like the point of the game, and it's like what's cool about it. But if you already know, and you're swinging your big spoiler around, then you just kind of ruin the whole thing. And so just, if you know the spoilers already, just sit quietly and enjoy watching the people who don't know the answers discuss things amongst themselves with you, while you can smugly be like, oh, that guy's close. Oh, nope, that's the wrong direction to go in, and stuff like that. You know, don't be a dick. All right, so we will now commence the normal episode. And tomorrow, when I'm discussing the conclusion of the playthrough and stuff like that, and what happened in my playthrough and stuff like that, I'll also hopefully have time to discuss the data and stuff like that of what you guys thought too. So, and yeah, put in your testimonials of what you think and why, and maybe I'll even discuss your reasonings and stuff like that. Now on to the normal episode.
I don't really know the girl, but I did buy out her loan from Dr. Dekker. I mainly did it to shut him up about it. But can you imagine having him as a creditor? That poor girl. I hope it didn't accrue anything more than interest.
Interest?
That isn't important right now.
She doesn't care about that topic either. So Mariana does apparently confirm, Claire confirms that she bought Mariana's loan. So that's an important development, because that gets rid of the idea that Dekker's death fixes the loan, because it's no longer owned by Dekker. So we have a number of little twists and turns here that are pointing things away from other people on a regular basis. That's interesting. Oh wow, I think the asterisks went away when I went to Claire. That's an interesting idea, that the asterisks of a particular character could be referring to dialogue you're supposed to ask a different character. Didn't really think of the system working that way. Let's go back to Nathan now, since everything else is kind of dead-ending a little bit.
We went on a date. What sort of? She texted me this bar she was going to, and I just turned up. She can dance. I was transfixed most of the night. Next thing I know, I'm lying in my bed. At home, the room's spinning. The day moved forward. In fact, every night I go and watch Mariana dance, the day moves forward. Do you think Mariana likes me?
This is the only issue here, is that if she is crazy and it's all made up, then what's going on with Nathan here, where he seems to correlate the idea that there's some sort of trance thing going on here. Unless... What was the name of the bar?
No. Sorry.
What was the bar called? Crap, I don't remember. Is it my notes? That'd be really early on when that was mentioned. Stu, patients seem confused, verbal mirroring, Mariana's blackouts. Oops. Perhaps she should stop going on the beach. Was the bar named after a planet? Is what I'm wondering. What if something about the planet or the bar what if the word Saturn comes up at the bar and that's the real reason he's transferring? Because that could almost explain that. But if you're gonna have I can't think of what it's called. Was it called Paradise or something? If there was gonna be a thematically named bar for her character, that would be like Neptune more likely than Saturn. Not talking about a reality thing, but just like a story structure, like being cheeky with naming of things thing. No. Mariana does not like you.
So what you're trying to say is that Mariana is just using me and has no interest in me romantically whatsoever. Thanks. That helps my self-esteem.
Sorry, but Mariana is dangerous.
Wow. I think you're just jealous, Doctor. I mean, if Mariana really was killing people, I'm pretty sure you'd have to contact the authorities. I mean, that's what you do, isn't it?
She's already here because of a murder.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Ah. How do I follow up on that? It's not working. The authorities already know.
Question of...
I don't know where to go with that one, honestly. I mean, she's really dangerous. She basically admits to it at this point. Child. Hello. Let's see. Do you still feel guilty about the truck driver?
The worst thing about my condition is that people think they're asking me something for the first time. I get asked the same thing over and over again. I've actually lost track of what I've already told you and what you're supposed to know. So what if the truck driver had the same combination of sleeping tablets and alcohol that Dr. Dekker had? That doesn't prove a thing.
The amusing thing here is I think the implication is that his predicament would be annoying already from his perspective, but if he killed Dr. Dekker and he's trying to hide that, then trying to keep control over the conversation and figuring out which stuff to tell me or not tell me about and where we are in the conversation can be really important to his lie, and he could accidentally sequence break the conversation on his end, leading to it being easier to accidentally give up what happened exactly. We've reached the end of his now, and all that's left is Jaya, who may or may not lead to some insights that lead back to other characters, hopefully. Alright, Jaya. Final secrets / crux examination time or something. Let's see here. How are you?
I'm worried about you, Doctor. You seem quiet and, well, it's just your fingerprints on the bottle. Maybe you touched it by accident? You didn't know him, did you?
Well, we're pointing in a lot of directions here. Multiple characters seem like they might have killed Dekker, including me, who I also might be Dekker? No, that seems incredibly unlikely, because Jaya would surely recognize Dekker, right? Unless this is all therapy thing where we're trying to convince me that I'm Dekker so I can realize that I'm actually Dekker the whole time and I didn't actually die or something strange like that. But, if I was just Dekker and this wasn't a weird reverse psychology surprise thing, you would expect her to not be reacting like I'm not Dekker. Presumably... Yeah. If Dekker died via the poisoning or whatever, then he would have been Dekker at the time, which means that it would have been my fingerprints, it would have been his fingerprints, If the fingerprint's the same, then our appearance would be the same. So I don't think we're the same person. So if we did kill Dekker, then maybe we must be some person that met him before and poisoned him. Maybe even an ex-patient. Or maybe I did really just touch the bottle at some point. Fingerprints. I just messed that entire word up. There we go.
Should you be asking me that, Doctor? It doesn't matter anyway. It's not important here.
How is that unimportant? Okay, my fingerprints on the bottle.
Really? That's your burning question? No, Doctor. Try again.
Okay, the part... It's a little frustrating how the game will be like smug about your stupid question when it's like the most obvious question and it's baffling and it's you that should be baffled by the game's weird lack of reaction to what you're saying. Okay. Let's ask about the prescription pad.
Dr. Dekker's prescription pad is still missing. I'll let you know if it turns up.
Death threats.
I didn't know anything about that. If I have any grievances with my employer, I spit in their coffee. I hope that's how you like it.
I hope that's how you like it. Was there no subtitle for that part? I wonder if they already rendered the subtitles in and then they zoomed in. No, those subtitles aren't rendered in because I think you can toggle them on and off. Never mind. Spit in my coffee?
I think you know what I'm going to say. I don't know.
You'd have to know because you're spit. That's actually because it's a generic response though, of course. Okay, Claire was making the death threats.
Your patients will always be a bother, but you're caring for people. We do still care, don't we, Doctor? In a few weeks' time, there'll be a whole new bunch of faces with a whole new bunch of quirks. Let's not have a whole new doctor, shall we?
What? 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 Ah. There's starting to be so many moments where I'm just like, I don't know what she thinks I said. I think that's one of the things that would help a lot in this game. Is if instead of saying what you said, like, in an ideal world, I would type a thing, and then it would record what I typed, and it would respond to that, and I would be like, oh yeah, I remember typing that, and that. But in reality, they often respond to something where I've triggered something somewhere in their code, but I don't know what, because it wasn't quite what I was asking about, and I really wish they would tell me what they think I said instead of telling me what I said, because that's the only way to piece back together when the system doesn't quite work. Which seems to be happening a lot lately. Like, I just said, I was trying to report the fact that Claire was making the death threats. I've learned information. I'm trying to convey it to Jaya, which seems like a logical thing the player would try to do, is try to communicate what we're learning about the pad and whatnot. And instead that happened. Let's see. Ellen stole the prescription pad. Really? Ellen. Nathan. So that's what's going on there. It seems like if I just mention any of the patients at all, it's just automatically assumed that I am complaining about the patients or something. And like she just gives the same response no matter what. That's so weird because we're specifically trying to figure out who killed Dr. Dekker and we're trying to figure out who was making the death threats and who stole the pad. But I can't talk to her about any of those things? That's really weird. Doctor Dekker.
No.
Fine then, let's loop back around. It's weird how she's... Her phrasing's getting weird too, because she's all like, that's not the right question. Like, it's like she's coaching me, or telling me what to do in a weird way.
I'm worried about you, Doc.
You're worried?
You just seem a little different from the person who turned up all those weeks ago. You don't talk to me as much as you did. You flitter between patients in a daydream. Tell me what things are bothering you.
Well, I was trying to, and you're all like, don't talk to me about your patients. Daydream.
Who measures sanity or insanity? One man's philosopher is another man's fool. I'm keeping an eye on you. I won't let you go crazy.
What if I already have? Philosopher.
I don't.
Crazy.
Holiday, perhaps? Some R&R? I suppose you were thinking something darker?
For crazy? Huh. Alright then. Sure. Not the same person.
I don't know.
Alright. Mariana probably kills people.
I've been reviewing your files. I know, I'm sorry, a bit naughty. But have you considered that Mariana may have murdered Dr. Dekker because of the money she owed him? As she had most to gain. She got all the money if he died. And it makes most sense, doesn't it?
It was one of the first thoughts that came to mind, yes. Hard to know what to do with the follow-up, though. What's it saying here? Jaya thinks Mariana's motive might be money, obviously. Sounds like Jaya might think I'm going insane. Great. Let's see. Alright. That can't be the reason, because Claire took over Mariana's loan debt. Why can't I tell you these things?
Counselor, you're asking.
Why can't I tell you about these things? Alright, fine, grief.
I think I'm okay with the grief now. My mother died suddenly, and I think I was projecting Dr. Dekker's death to be about her. I know they're not related.
Well, I am a counselor. How about you tell me about your mother's death?
My mother died suddenly, like Dr. Dekker. For her, though, it was different. She burst into flames. I was 7. They said she must have been smoking and drinking on the sofa, but she doesn't smoke or drink. Professor Alderby said it was spontaneous combustion.
Well, that's new. I was assuming that your mother just died recently and you were projecting the value of the issue onto Dr. Dekker, but she died like probably 20, 30 years ago? However old you... I don't know. Spontaneous combustion. This is important because this might be the expression of a trait, and we haven't really poked that much into the idea of these abilities ranging further into the past. So what if her mother set herself on fire somehow? What if Jaya set her mother on fire? That'd be a bit of a thing. Might explain why she's here, why she's sending people here. She might have a motive.
According to Professor Alderby, people can will themselves to die. Some people will have heart attacks, some people will have strokes. Those who are truly despondent, they're the rare few that spontaneously combust. I'm not sure if I believe in all of that.
Will themselves to die.
I don't know. It doesn't fill me with any sense of self-worth, if that helps.
The topic of suicide.
Are you stuck?
I mean, if you would ask questions, that'd be great, but that's not actually an option. Let's see. Go back to the death threats.
I didn't know anything about that. If I have any grievances with my employer, I spit in there.
That's the key word. Let's talk about your grievances.
Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
There's definitely been a suggestion of that possibility. I talked ever since we found out that his body teleported away, or at least it was suggested that it may have because it disappeared. I then started wondering, like, did he reanimate himself and then teleport away? And now is he the guy that's in the I almost said golden hour, the midnight hour? Does he have everyone's power? Could he even be related to the beast itself? I never actually asked Mariana. Breathe underwater. I don't think I've ever actually we've ever acknowledged this concept, just that you swim around.
You'll have to ask me something.
Nope. There's a lot of dialogue to go through. Obviously, I've asked almost 2,000 questions at this point, but I don't remember if we've ever discussed the idea of Mariana breathing underwater, so that was like new information, basically. Dekker wanted power for himself.
I once spoke to a patient here who claimed to be able to teach me how to get inside other people's dreams, but how would you know if that worked? Have you had any strange dreams lately, Doctor?
Strange Mariana dream happened. Nope. Strange dreams. Nope. That's not working. Okay. But we have covered the idea of people having strange dreams before. And we did talk to the girl who thought she'd go into people's dreams. And there was a certain issue of the idea, like, how would you tell if it works? Because how do you know it's not just your own dream? And that's true. Many of these things are really hard to confirm, although you'd think that she would have talked to the other people about the dreams. Although even that's hard, because supposedly our dreams are hard to remember because of the state that our mind is in when we're dreaming. And so when you try to recall your dreams, you actually change the dream by trying to remember it. And you'll often project faces and stuff like that over your dreams and think that you dreamed about somebody when you actually didn't necessarily. Although this whole conversation's so hard to prove that even that concept is hard to even think about how they figured that out, or even if they do know that for sure, or if that's just a weird theory that isn't confirmed, because how do you confirm anything about dreams? Let's see.
Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
Let's try some of the other words here. Cure.
That's not really
Amplify.
Any patient who presented with psychokinetic issues, they were his special patients. Towards the end, he began ignoring all the other cases. Most of the patients saw it as a curse, what they were experiencing, what they were unwittingly doing. Dr. Dekker saw it as an ability, a power to be harnessed and used for, well, God knows what he was going to use it all for. So we made them give in to it, and it consumed them, consumed all of them. Whether you believe any of that or not is your choice, but they did, which made them angry. And that's why I think he was murdered by a patient.
You don't have to believe in the patients either way. It's not about whether or not you believe in the patients themselves, it's about whether or not, you don't have to believe whether or not the powers are real, it's just that if they could still be consumed by going fully in. Let's try a few little things here. Ability.
Really?
Curse.
Are you stuck?
Special patience. That might have been what she went down a second ago, though. That's what I kind of thought. How about how are you?
I'm worried about you, Doctor. You seem quiet and, well, it's just your fingerprints on the bottle. Maybe you touched it by accident? You didn't know him, did you?
How many people have asked me if I know Dr. Dekker now? Was it Claire or someone? Who was the last one from earlier? Probably you, because you have a lot of unresolved things. I've got to finish up the yellow dots at the very least, because any of them could be still important, even though this seemed... Yep, accuse. So I can accuse somebody of being the murderer. I don't know if you get a second chance. It might just end it right there, or it might be a chance to try to expose it or something. Let's see. Let's just work with what I think I know, which is no, I did not know Dekker.
Then why are your fingerprints on his vodka bottle? No, don't answer that. Oh, the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, who hasn't it touched? I'm so worried.
You said the name of the game. Roll credits. The infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, who hasn't it touched him? I wonder if I go back and watch the trailer of the game, which I have not seen, if it would say that at some point, because that'd be really funny. Or they just expressly say that line. That's the end of that thing then. Let's see. Get back to Bryce then and see what else I can follow up on.
If only he'd been cremated like you will be. I have a private tool shed at the graveyard. I moved his body in there before the burial. But when I came back, he'd gone. It was locked and he'd gone. How did that happen, Doctor? How did Dekker do that?
Did you teach Dekker how to teleport? How's it a dead end also? Let's see. Private tool shed, I think I've tried before.
I have nothing.
That's what I thought. Okay, let's go down the how did Dekker do that line then.
It's not out of the question to think that Dr. Dekker teleported himself out of the tool shed. If I can do it, he probably can. That's the kind of thing I've been thinking. But the thing that's been following me, it can teleport too. I think the thing might be Dekker. Is the thing Dekker?
It might be, let's say yes, the creature is Dekker.
That's not important, Doctor.
Yes, the thing is Dekker.
And so it is. The thing is Dekker, and the thing wants to kill me. Please, tell Jessica I love her.
Oh boy, so that may have been a problem, but we'll see. Gave it a shot. This is definitely one of those games where I feel like no matter what I'm doing, I might be doing something wrong. We're playing with forces we do not understand. What the hell is going on with the body disappearing though? I need to figure that out. It's bothering me now. Have you been stealing?
I teleported back into the art gallery after our session, in the midnight hour. I replaced the painting, so I haven't stolen anything for a long time now. Perhaps a cheeky borrow best describes it.
Excuse me, a cheeky borrow?
I don't know anything about that.
Borrow?
That's not really what...
Stealing?
I don't...
Have you killed anyone?
Sorry, Doctor.
Did you done a naughty in the midnight hour? Nah.
I teleported back into the art gallery after our session, in the midnight hour. I replaced the painting, so I haven't stolen anything for a long time now. Perhaps a cheeky borrow best describes it.
Let's see here. That still didn't actually help me with what I was trying to do there. God damn it. What is with the body disappearing thing?
If only he'd been cremated. If only he...
Oops. Cremated.
I have nothing.
Cremated?
Burial isn't enough for Dr. Dekker because he's evil. I thought if anything, we'd established that in our earlier sessions, Doctor. I had to destroy him properly, not just bury him in the ground.
How did you intend to destroy the body? Destroy remains.
I don't know why you're asking me that.
That's not working. Dang it. Ah. Is Dekker back from the dead? The idea of, like, maybe Dr. Dekker came back from the dead is, like, a weird direction to go in, just because of the idea that, like, we've already established that he may have teleported away, so, like, then it feels like going backwards in the conversation to ask if he's dead, if he came back from the death.
Perhaps. It had crossed my mind that Dr. Dekker perhaps resurrected himself. Maybe he wasn't dead, just sleeping.
Maybe he wasn't dead, just sleeping. It's really creepy. So you don't have any yellow left with you. Ellen? Nope, all down to green. Mariana? All down to green. Nathan? All down to green. Ah! That's it. Ah. Let's look at this back at here, out of curiosity's sake. 100% progress made. Aside from the whole optional things, of course, which is... Alright, so that's it. That's it. It's time for me to make an accusation, which seems super risky.